Tom Brannon, thank you for joining us on this wintry Tuesday where a winter storm warning remains in effect and a winter weather advisory. And the weather is certainly weathering outside finally. It's taken a little bit to get here.
It's been a mixture of some snowflakes this morning when I was driving in, some sleet pellets at times, and now right here in downtown Little Rock, I look outside, I'm seeing rain. I look at the stop sign, and there's icicles hanging off the stop sign. So that tells you it's not rain. We're dealing with freezing rain here in downtown Little Rock.
Still expecting to get some sleet. I've seen some sleet mix in. Just a few moments ago, there's this batch of precipitation that's moving into the downtown area, and that's about where we thought it would. 1, 2 o'clock, the onset of this. Now, we did have a few showers earlier, sleet shower, along with a few rain showers when the temperatures were a little warmer. But now we're beginning to see this unfold. We're expecting snow tonight on the backside of the system. We could get a dusting of snow, maybe a little more here in central Arkansas. And still could see some accumulation of sleet eventually.
Yes. It is going to be a potpourri of precipitation as expected, and it's just because the different temperatures as you go from the surface all the way up to about 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 feet. There's a little nose of warm air. That's why we're seeing the changeover, not so much snow anymore here in central Arkansas, but it's that sleet and freezing rain mixture. Now, we are expecting it to change to all snow later this evening into tonight before it all wraps up through the early morning hours on Wednesday.
So there's the advisory criteria that we have. Winter storm warning, the blue is a winter weather advisory. So the whole state has a winter alert. And to go along with what he's saying, why don't we start there? The atmospheric profiles, they can sure be a little tough on you sometimes. Trying to figure out the precipitation type that could fall. And right now it's a mixture of freezing rain and sleet. So let's take a look at this on the big monitor. Nathan's going to tell us what's going on upstairs and why we are expecting one thing but may not get that until a few changes occur.
So we're delving into a little more science here because we're looking at the temperature at the surface in the orange box versus the temperature about 5,000 feet in elevation in the purple box. Now, this is just one model solution, and it's already a little too warm because I'm looking at the temperature here. Little Rock now has dropped down to 30 degrees. At 12:53, it was around 34. So we've lost 4 degrees since this precipitation has started. But what you want to notice is the temperatures at the surface right here in central Arkansas could be right around freezing or just below freezing. And then in the purple boxes, Russellville and also Searcy, those numbers are below freezing. And that's why we are seeing that transition from snowflakes over to freezing rain over to sleet. Meanwhile, it is well below freezing in North Arkansas, where it has been snowing like gangbusters in that part of the state. They're already starting to see about 1 to 2 inches of snow in northwest Arkansas as of the current observations I'm looking at. And then down into South Arkansas, the temperatures are safely above freezing for now. But I do think before everything winds down, you will also have the potential of seeing a little bit of freezing rain and sleet.
Rolly Hoyt drives in from Garland County every day. Was curious to see what he was experiencing on his way in. So we have our little news meeting in the afternoon. Rolly, what did you have? And he said it was just raindrops.
Yeah.
The temperature was around 32 degrees. So
it's
close.
Right in that
area. So
it's right on the edge there.
You dip down a couple of more degrees. You may have a few more issues on roadways. But starting out, I know that there was a time earlier today the National Weather Service was asking what was falling from the sky because the radar may have been reflecting one thing, but the precipitation type at ground level was different. And that's that difference in temperature, a little slight difference there.
And that's just because the radar cannot really pinpoint exactly where the freezing rain versus the sleet line versus the snow line. It is a tough situation for the radar, let alone that's why your observations are so important, not only to us, but also to the National Weather Service. Now, let's take this full once again because you're seeing the winds. This is at 5,000 feet in elevation. So we've got the winds coming in from the south, and they're going in a counterclockwise circulation because low pressure. We're looking at the low pressure higher aloft in the upstairs part of the atmosphere. As we advance this here, Tom, we'll see that area of low slides its way down along the Red River Valley, and then the winds switch over. So that's why we'll see on the backside of this low, it brings in that colder air to all layers of the atmosphere, and everything is expected to change over to snow later this evening into tonight. The question is, how fast does that transition from the wintry mess to all snow happens, because that will determine how much snow we'll see here in central Arkansas. And it could be a sharp difference from South Pulaski County versus North Pulaski County.
Yeah, we were looking at the snow amounts page that was put together, and the big amounts up north. You get down to central Arkansas, it really cuts off. But you know, it could be. If that colder air wraps in a little quicker, could be more snow.
Could be.
If it doesn't, yeah, well, then it wasn't expected to be that prolific of a snowmaker for us anyway. Our concerns were the sleet and the freezing rain. So there's that. Let me take it a little farther and advance it to where this upper level low crawls across the state, and you get the backside effect. Things are going to dry out tomorrow. We are going to see colder temperatures. Upper level low pressure area this time of year has its own cold air with it, so you would expect to have it all transition
and
to
look
snow.
at the temperatures. I mean, this is saying 10:30 tomorrow morning at the surface. It's going to be in the teens. 20s down in South Arkansas, probably single digits in North Arkansas. And that's just because the snow cover, when you have a lot of snow, they could see easily 6 inches to a foot of snow in North Arkansas. Pure snow really can deliver the coldest temperatures that you can possibly get, especially if skies are clear at night. We're expecting those numbers to drop down below zero in Fayetteville and Harrison and Mountain Home.
Going to be cold after this wintry stuff gets out of the way for the next few days. So we've got what we call our weather impact alert all the way through Friday for those cold temperatures. Don't forget to stream your faucets, folks. It'll be very important to do that. All right, now let's tell you what's happening currently since we're live on radar this afternoon. The mosaic of colors. We've got the blue representing the snow, the magenta representing the wintry mess. Yeah, lots of wonderful pastels. And where it's, of course, just plain old rain, it's in the green. But I have noticed that some of this is trying to shift a little bit to the south. Franklin County, under the winter weather advisory, they look like they may be picking up a little bit more in the way of some snow, right? Well, let's find out. We've got our ice seeker and our snow seeker to fire up. This is central Arkansas. We've had a batch of precipitation move through, and just to kind of line it up with precipitation types. This is a different radar, but it kind of goes in line with what we've been seeing with the mosaic.
Yeah, so the orange is a radar trying to figure it out, that it's saying this is sleet. And the purple here is most likely freezing rain. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. But certainly we are seeing that mixture of sleet and freezing rain right over Saline County, Pulaski County, and then maybe as you get more into Faulkner County, you're seeing a little more snow. This might be a little bit of sleet here into North Yell County, approaching Dardanelle and also Russellville, but certainly snow the farther north that you are once you get into Van Buren County. And the snow is really falling at a good rate. I mean, it is what we say up north, pouring snow in that part of the state, with these darker blue showing up. Fayetteville, Rogers, Eureka Springs, and this is all making its way off to the east and also off to the northeast. So, you know, road conditions have already gone downhill in that part of the state, and I can actually take a look at Storm Track 11. This is from iDrive, Arkansas, and where you see all the blue roads, and that includes Benton County, Carroll County, Boone County, Newton County, into Madison County, and also Washington County, even extending down into Franklin County. Roads are snow covered. So they have been seeing snow throughout the morning. That snow continues to pile up, and we'll take a look at some camera observations here from iDrive Arkansas. Let's go to our favorite one. It's always Edwards Junction in Newton County. And there you see,
snow covered.
It is snowing, and we do have, looks like a little dusting of snow. Now, the elevation in that part of Newton County is, I think, about 2,100 feet. So no surprise that the Ozarks are seeing snow this time. And then we'll go into Rogers here. This is Interstate 49. And wow. Yeah.
Most whiteout conditions.
The visibility is really going down. The snow's really coming down. And this is going to be a very dry, powdery snow, Tom. So we're looking at, it's going to be difficult to measure because we've got some gusty winds out there. It's going to be blowing all over the place. It's going to really reduce visibility out there this evening through tonight and even into Wednesday, because the winds will still be whipping quite a bit. Also, snow drifts, because with it being such a dry, powdery snow, you get 6 to 12 inches of snow, and you get in open areas snow drifts that could be 2 to 3 feet.
Yeah. because of those winds. Going to be whipping up there tonight. Take us one more place. I was looking at Cricket Creek, which is on the border of Arkansas and Missouri as you're leaving Harrison up in Boone County. That was really the first sign this morning that it was really snowing heavily. It's that camera there. That's what I looked at this morning, and yeah, there you go.
As always, the bridges and overpasses that experience the freeze first.
And those of you that have traveled that area, you know how beautiful that canyon is as you cross over Arkansas into Missouri.
But we'll get a little closer here. We'll go to Russellville, see what's going in Russellville, and it looks like the roads are just wet. There was snow there earlier in Russellville this morning, so it looks like that has transitioned over to possibly a freezing rain. It's hard to say if it's freezing rain or just rain. We're going to check temperatures in just 1 second. And then let's go over here to Beebe. Just choose this camera, Highway 64, and it's pretty quiet there as well. But road conditions will really start to go downhill getting into this evening, because once we hit this evening, we lose the sun. The sun does a little bit of help in terms of trying to keep things a little bit more on the melted side, but we lose that sun, and 7, 8 o'clock, when precipitation really picks up in coverage and intensity, and the road conditions will really start to drop very quickly. Yeah,
you mentioned Russellville. National Weather Service has a chat site for us to look at, and this is where we follow with tornado warnings and whatnot. But they had a report. Rain in Russellville. That was from one of their Pope County folks. A fellow from that is in central Arkansas not long ago reported some moderate snow in McRae. It's Paul Wilkerson. I know Paul from Facebook lore. He's on Facebook and he helps provide reports for the National Weather Service. He had snow equipment, sleet and Cabot. So the first little batch that moved through had a little hit of sleet and snow, and what's coming in behind it here. And I'm going to look at, Perry, if you don't mind, can we take a look at one of the garden shots when you have a moment just to see what's happening outside? It was right at the top that when we began, we had some sleet mixed in with some rain or freezing rain outside. And as Nathan mentioned, it's freezing all over the stop sign, so you know that the temperature is below freezing, and that's what you're going to get. It's not snowing here. It might be sleeting. I'm going to take a listen and see what's going on. It's just rain, freezing rain in the garden, Nathan. Freezing rain right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the temperatures not only with official observations, but other observations across the area. And I've got 29 in Maumelle and 31 downtown Little Rock, 30 in Bryant, 30 at the Little Rock Air Force Base, 32 near Lake Conway, 29 near Conway. So we're right on the edge of if it is rain or if it's freezing rain. And if you are driving out there and your thermometer says it's 32, you really want to use extra caution on the bridges and overpasses, because it may turn into a sheet of ice pretty soon. I mean, 32, you're playing with fire,
right,
kind of. Once it gets to 31, 30 degrees, especially 30 degrees, then you're going to deal with treacherous road conditions developing.
RDOT's done a great job of prepping the roads here in the Little Rock metro area, but not all the highways and byways are being treated. So once you hit 30, 31 degrees, they're going to become slick. 29 degrees, all bets are off. I'd get off the roads if I could. And we're going to achieve that temperature this evening.
Yeah.
Probably right after sunset, we're going to see that tip drop as that upper low moves across.
Yes. Whatever falls, it's not going anywhere tonight. So whether it's sleet, freezing rain, snow, and then it's going to compact probably. It may melt just a little bit, but whatever that little melting does, it's just going to compact and turn to a solid sheet of ice going into late tonight and also into your Wednesday. So you have to watch out for that first step before you head out the door. If you plan to head out the door tomorrow, it's going to be a frozen tundra out there. Let's just be honest, because brutal wind chills. And you'll have blowing and drifting snow in North Arkansas. It's going to feel like North Canada, Alaska in that part of the state. But let's talk about, the snowfall totals and all that, Tom.
Yeah, I want to go back to that because I have a question. Actually, I have questions. Like
Not for me, right?
Like Cher said the other night, I wish we had some more answers. She's got all the answers. More about along the lines of the expectations and how we're feeling about this right now, knowing that we have freezing rain. I expected at this time that we would have more sleet this afternoon, less freezing rain.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looked like yesterday, all the model formation. You look at the upper air future skew-tees, upper air, future profiles, and it looked like this was going to be a sleet situation.
Well, even the profile this morning. I mean, there was just barely a little warm nose there. Okay, this leans more sleet.
Yeah.
And then this is what you have out here. The
Yeah.
rain and the freezing rain. How quickly things change.
Weather can be a little complicated, but with that said, I mean, we're not changing our snowfall forecast. It's still 6 to 12 for the
sure.
counties right along
Absolutely.
Arkansas and Missouri. 4 to 8 for, I think, Newton County, Searcy County, Stone, Izard, Independence, Lawrence towards Jonesboro. And then as you get close to central Arkansas, we run into the snow changes over to sleet, to freezing rain, and how long does it take for that transition to happen to all snow? That's what we'll be watching out there this evening. If it's a little sooner than expected, this 2 to 4 may push its way farther to the south. Right now here in central Arkansas, it's going to be a wide range.
Yeah.
Some locations may only see a trace of snow, and other locations, because as this transition happens this evening, I'm looking at some information, there could be a burst of moderate to heavy snow.
Yeah.
You're in the 20s, that can add up very quickly. So you may not see hardly anything until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. You get that burst of snow, it can put down a quick 1 to 2 inches. So that's why we have a wide range here of a trace to 3 inches for most of central Arkansas. I think down in south Arkansas, you're not looking at snow necessarily. It could end as a little bit of sleet or a little bit of freezing rain before it pushes out for early Wednesday morning.
Having been through so many of these things in the past where it's just very borderline, it just depends on where this warm nose sets up. We saw what happened in January, how southern Arkansas got ripped off.
Yeah.
Because that warm nose affected their amounts, and it was mainly rain, maybe a few snowflakes on the backside. This is trickier in central Arkansas because of where things are setting up anyway. Yeah, it's given. They're going to get the heavy snow in North Arkansas.
High confidence in
High
that.
confidence
Yeah.
here. Confidence is a little shaky right now in central Arkansas, but we'll stick with it, and we'll offer the apology letters later if this doesn't work out. But okay, maybe I'll offer the apology letter. If it doesn't work out, I'll do that.
I'm not too concerned, though.
No. All right.
I mean, it's not like we're going, 6 to 12 inches and then we got nothing. So
it's good to know too that we can be as transparent about things as we can. It's not perfect.
It's an educated,
it's fluid
forecast.
Yeah, and here we go. The sleet amounts: a half inch to 3 inches of sleet. Still feeling pretty good about that, huh?
The sleet may be a little high.
Yeah.
But we still have plenty of time to see how this evolves. So we're still going to stick with it from right through west central Arkansas over to east central Arkansas. I think that's going to be the bullseye of sleet. Could it be 2 to 3 inches?
Yeah.
Maybe, but it could be lower than that. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Maybe the thing that we don't want to talk about. I don't like freezing rain.
Yeah.
I don't. Nobody likes it.
I mean, it's great for sledding.
I know it. It's no fun.
That's the only good thing for
no
it.
fun to drive in it or anything like that, but I can see this glaze working out, this 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. A report from Royal, Arkansas. They have it in the trees.
Yeah.
But this was also the bullseye area of getting the most freezing rain.
I mean, everything we were looking at, the Weather Prediction Center, other models were all saying it was the Ouachitas. Now, some information has it more down to South Arkansas. I'm not buying that. I think it's a little too aggressive. But yeah, the Ouachitas, 1/10 to 1/4 inch. As long as we stay below 1/4 inch, the chance of power outages will be fairly low. Not to say we won't have any power outages, just because we're going to have some winds out there. And, 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of ice can weigh down the trees, can weigh down some power lines, and you get some gusty winds. Yeah, there's going to be a few power outages, but it's not going to be widespread power outages as long as we stay below 1/4 inch. Once we get to 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, then the problems really start to ramp up in terms of power outages, down trees, down power lines.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead to the timing of the precipitation tonight, just to kind of go along with when we would expect to see a transition from what we have now, the freezing rain, any sleet, to the chance of snow. So this is the HER model, which updates every few hours or so. This is the way it looks currently. Let's put you forward into time. Heavy snow, North Arkansas. Temperature, Little Rock, around 31 at 5 o'clock. And we're still looking at that magenta color.
It's pink.
Yeah.
Is it sleet? Is it freezing rain? That's the big question.
Yeah. That's how it gets out of exactly pinpointing exactly what's going to happen, right? Tonight at 9, you begin to see that colder air work in. That upper low is beginning to move a little farther to the south.
And you see those darker blues, though. So
Yeah,
that's where it could be maybe a little burst of heavy snow. And also, is it thunder snow? Is it thunder sleet? The potential is there as well. Going to this evening, looking at some energy in the upper part of the atmosphere, you get some thunder sleet. Yeah, you can quickly get an inch or two of sleet or 1 to 2 inches of snow where those convective bands set up.
Report from the Weather Service, heavy sleet now in Danville. Okay? All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. Going forward, the system begins to wind down and will move out after midnight tonight. By 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, we'll see what's happening on the roadways, how much sleet, snow, freezing rain. It's going to be a mess tomorrow. The temperatures are going to be in the single digits and teens, and they're not going to warm much tomorrow. And if the skies if the skies break up, get some sunshine on it, and it does not look like it's going to be a very sunny day.
Now.
It's awfully overcast is the case typically with some of these systems.
And that's the air temperature, Tom. That's not the wind chill. That's not the feels like, because those winds are going to take a bite right out of you. It will cut right through you. We're talking about that piercing type cold situation going into the next few days. You step outside, it's a slap across the face for the most part.
And we'll talk about that. Cold weather alerts. I guess it was a year ago, they did away, National Weather Service did away with the wind chill advisory. It's been replaced with a cold weather alert. Well, duh. There you go.
Yeah, so this means that the likelihood of seeing the wind chill or the feels like dropping to 0 or well below 0, that's why they have issued this cold advisory. And then it'll be well below 0 wind chills into northwest Arkansas where there's extreme cold warning. This is a life-threatening situation if you don't take it seriously. So you want to check on folks that don't have heat or proper heat, and you want to make sure the pets are at home in a nice, safe, warm place.
Yeah, I know boss is probably not listening in this afternoon. So Nathan did something.
Oh, I'm sure he's watching.
Very, very nice we have a couple of kitty cats that are neighborhood cats. They keep the vermin down, right? Nathan brought an old sleeping bag for them to make sure that they're comfortable and they could crawl in the sleeping bag or just sleep on top of it. So we're doing our part to take care of the area pets. Now, it might be a little too cold. Maybe they've got a little hidey hole someplace.
They might have something better.
Yeah, they might have something a little bit better. That in point, let's go along with what it's going to feel like these next few days, because we keep the cold air here through Friday. Low forecast, first of all, for Wednesday morning when you wake up, single digits and teens across Arkansas. This is just your lows. This is not taking into account the wind chill. We fall below 0 Thursday morning for a few counties in northern Arkansas.
Yeah, that's definitely a good bet. Skies clear out. You have a fresh blanket of snow. If the winds are calm somewhat, I don't think they are going to be so calm in parts of the region. They'll still be around. But it's just a blast of true Siberian air. So that's going to allow those wind chills to drop down and air temperatures to drop down below 0 in that part of the state.
Wind chill tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Below 0 wind chill, northwest Arkansas, single digits here. Extremely cold. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, hitting the wrong button here. Okay, Thursday morning, wind chill 20 below in Harrison.
Yuck. Oof. Yeah, that's North Dakota, that's Minnesota type cold right there.
Friday morning, we begin to warm things up. Not quite below 0, but still
0.
Yeah, and
there we go.
By 6 o'clock.
Break out the shorts and short sleeves for Saturday morning.
Let me cover the pipes thing. Learn so much when it happens to you. This is why you want to take care of the pipes in your home. Stream your pipes. It's best to have both hot and cold on, according to a plumber who came out and fixed a burst pipe at my house, and I thought I was doing it right. Don't just drip it. You got to stream it. When water keeps moving, it's hard for it to freeze.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. Whether you have interior plumbing that's not affected by it or outside, certainly sinks and whatnot on the outside part, on the outside walls, you really need to stream those. But keep them going. You're going to have to keep them going for the next several days. We may not make it above freezing until, Friday or Saturday.
A higher water bill is nothing compared to a bursted pipe.
And I'll tell you, this event we had in January, my water bill was only $25 higher. And I streamed them all the way through. Now, some people would say I'm not going to do that, but it's better than
you're taking a chance. When it gets this cold, you're taking a chance.
We have individual works here at THV 11. It's happened to her twice.
Oh.
So I know that she's probably got all the faucets wide open at her house. Okay, well, one last thing here from my standpoint. There you go. We get to freezing Friday, 32. We really warm things up Saturday with a high of 40. I never thought I would look so forward to having a 40-degree temperature.
Yeah. So when we talk about the road impacts, if you live on a side street or a back road, you may not get out of the house until Saturday. Because, again, whatever falls, it's not going anywhere. There'll be some sunshine that will help little by little. But when you have temperatures like this, lots of clouds on Wednesday, minimal melting on Wednesday. There will be a little bit more on Thursday, Friday, just because the higher sun angle in February will help out somewhat.
Yeah.
But if you're in a shaded area, it's not going to change at all until we get into Saturday afternoon. Now, looking ahead, we go from well below average. We really flip the script next week. We could be back up into the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees on Tuesday. So, yeah, we've got to get through the next few days. They will be brutal. Be prepared for that, no doubt, with the really cold conditions.
All right, just to recap, winter storm warning remains in effect through tonight. We've got freezing rain in Little Rock. A lot of places receiving freezing rain. Report from Danville, heavy sleet. So maybe a transition's taken shape in the River Valley where they did have some freezing rain earlier. Now sleet. Next thing is snow in that part of the state.
Yep.
And before things are said and done here, we'll get some snow. How much? We'll have to wait and see. Let's hope all of you are off the roadways and are safe this afternoon. Just let Mother Nature do her thing, and that way you're out of the way.
Yeah, because again, road conditions really going downhill once the sun sets 7, 8 o'clock. You shouldn't be out.
Yeah. You had one more thing you wanted to show behind us over here. What was it?
Oh, did I?
I think so.
That was the temperatures across the area.
Is that what we did?
But we can show it on here too. Like,
yeah, pull them up. Let's take. Okay, temperatures across the region.
Just these are all the different temperatures happening across the region on Storm Track 11.
Please.
Because we are very close to the freezing mark. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if we can zoom in here a little bit. Make it a little bit bigger for you. Yeah, so we got 30 in Little Rock, 30 in North Little Rock, 28, 30 in Bryant, Benton, down to 30 degrees. Malvern down to 29, 33 as you get into Arkadelphia. So still looking at primarily rain, it looks like, for Arkadelphia, and I think that does verify. And then also, we discussed this before with the last winter weather event, but we can use the same tool for detecting tornado debris to really kind of find exactly where the melting changes over from snow to sleet type fashion, because this tool on radar is showing the different types of shapes relationship. Where you see all the pink, a solid area of pink, that tells us that the radar is detecting similar shapes or shapes that are pretty much the same. So therefore the precipitation is going to be the same. But once you get into more of the yellows and oranges, more scrambling here into White County, but especially into Montgomery County, then we're seeing different types of shapes. This is the radar beam going up in an angle from the surface into the cloud. So when you look at Montgomery County, we're looking at 8,000 feet in elevation, but it's detecting most likely there's probably some sleet happening in that part of the area, and then also into Yell County. So it's basically, I think, freezing rain happening here into Pulaski County with some bits of sleet. Yeah. I don't know if any snow showing up, but once you get into North Arkansas, that's when things start to change. Now, we're getting too high when we get into North Arkansas with this radar. We'll have to use a different type of radar. But
let's do a little radar, John, for you one more time. Go back to Max 1 just to show you the precipitation type, and it lines up with what he's talking about. Could have some snow, and I noticed the I-40 corridor, we're beginning to see, maybe that colder air seeping southward, and with that, we've got snow. That's primarily in that blue color. If you look at some of the brighter reflectivity colors here, maybe some heavier bursts of snow, and just to the south of that, where we're picking up the freezing rain and the sleet embedded, and some heavy sleet that was reported in Danville. It had mostly been a mix, but Weather Service individual reporting there says now it's all heavy sleet. That may slide on down our way. So we're rain, freezing rain, a mix of sleet, but some colder air is going to work in. And then how long is it going to stay sleet? We'll have to wait and see, but we do expect a transition to all snow before the system clears out of here.
I pulled it up if you want to look at Max 2 now.
Max 2.
So we're looking at the types of precipitation along with the temperatures reported officially and unofficially as the time goes on. So no question, this is snow happening in North Arkansas as temperatures are well below freezing. We've got lots of 20s, but then once you get into central Arkansas, we run into that blue into the pink area, and we've got that potential of sleet and freezing rain happening across the region. But look at the temperature, Tom. I mean, we were 34, and then we dropped down to 31 at Little Rock, and it's dropped down to 31 in Hot Springs. So the air at the surface is cooling down, and that's why we're starting to see some ice accretion happening around downtown Little Rock with the stop sign, with other
I would imagine the
things.
trees.
Yeah, probably the trees seeing a little ice accumulation.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, so it's ice accretion, snow accumulation. But we just call it accumulation in general, because accretion sometimes does not work as it should. It gets a little confusing. So we'll just keep it simple and call it ice accumulation. But there's the temperatures going down in South Arkansas, pretty much well above freezing. Where you had the blue boxes, those are official observations. So we got 37 in Camden, 41, now 42 in Monticello, so it's all rain for you. 40 in El Dorado. Backyard thermometers getting close to freezing once you get into Hempstead County, Nevada County. That may be a little bit of a stretch. 35 in De Queen and 39 in Texarkana. So we'll be watching the cold air continue to bleed its way in through the rest of the afternoon into this evening. Slowly but surely, it will spill its way down to the south and southeast, and we'll see this transition over to a wintry mix, eventually over to all snow here in central Arkansas. Again, when does that happen? Does it happen 7 o'clock, or does it hold off until 9 or 10 o'clock this evening?
I want to give you the opportunity to go to our THV11 Weather Reporters page, Facebook page. We want to encourage you to send your photos to us this afternoon and this evening so that we can showcase them on our newscasts tonight. The Weather Reporters page is a place where if you would like to be a reporter for us in your county, we've got a lot of great help out there, but we could always use more if you want to be a part of that. It's a private page. You ask to be invited or to be a part of it, and we'll send you back. Yeah, you can be a weather reporter. This is just something that helps us reinforce what's happening in your location. In fact, if we can, and I think we can do this, we can show pictures of some sleet and some freezing rain on decks there. Why don't you take Storm Track 11? Nathan's got a picture he can show you real quick.
Yeah, so we've got several viewers around the region sending us pictures and letting us know what the temperature is, and they've got weather observations, which is great. So there's sleet happening, Conway County, Morrilton, temperature 31 degrees by Robert, and sleeting in Benton. That was reported 9 minutes ago. We got Chad, Franklin County. Roads are sleet and snow covered in Franklin County. And then Lori, she posted 54 minutes ago. Looks like we've got a mixture.
Some ice in the trees there.
Some ice in the trees. Some rain, sleet mixed in Morrilton about an hour ago. So, we have to approve all requests for the most part because we want this to be just local Arkansans giving their reports on temperature, on winter weather, on severe weather. This is not a chasing page by any means. We don't want anybody to go out and chase tornadoes. We want you all to be safe, but also with us basically approving member requests, we're hoping to cut down on the bots and other nonsense that happens on Facebook.
And sometimes that happens. You get some nonsense here and there. All right, so Nathan and I will be along 5, 6, 6:30, 10 o'clock tonight to update you on this winter storm that's happening. Everyone stay safe outside. Hopefully you don't have to go anywhere. I finally found some ice melt this morning.
Oh, good for you.
At 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I found some. I'm not encouraging you to go out and get any, but I needed some for my driveway. My driveway's one of these, and it's great great ski slope. Not so much fun to get into the garage. But bottom line is be careful out there.
Yeah,
today.
be careful, especially with freezing rain, because it looks wet until you step on it, and then you're on your bum.
Yep, or worse.
Then you're sliding down the hill.
Thank you for joining us here this afternoon on THV 11 Plus. And by the way, if you followed us through your phone and you have a smart TV at home, you can download the app for free. Apple, Roku, Amazon Prime. Download that THV 11 app or Plus app and follow us whenever we have weather conditions like this. Or how about this? Nathan's got this great segment he does called Weather-Wise, where he gets really into some of the deep science, the deep cuts of weather, deep science of weather.
Yeah.
You can stream that, watch some of the past episodes, as well as other programming on THV 11
And you're going to be doing another streaming update right here on THV 11 Plus 8 o'clock tonight.
8 o'clock
right?
tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have some snow to show you by then. I'd like to do that. I'll do some of it out in the garden. Hey, everybody, have a great afternoon. We will see you again at 8 o'clock. Catch us on the newscast tonight as well.